Start obviously right-handed, jersey number 1. You can make that whatever you want. 7'4", 244 pounds, 44 with a minimum wingspan. There's different ways you can make this build. You can make it at like a 7'7" wingspan for the 83-3, but I want the max shooting as possible on a 7'4", or I wanted it when I first made the build. 86 close shot, 55 driving dunk, so you're able to just get dunk animations and you're not just laying the ball up. 90 standing dunk with a 77 post control. 79 mid-range, 89 three-point. And you might ask why I went with the lower mid-range. Because you can't get shifty shooter or anything on this build, and the mid-range maxes out at a 90, which doesn't give you any, I'll show you, it doesn't give you any extra badges. So I was just going for as minimum shooting as possible, and because you're 7'4", like, you can hit middies, and if you're stick shooting, like, I promise you'll be fine. 88 free throw, 76 pass accuracy, which I actually cap breakered, so my pass accuracy is a little higher than that now. And I will show you how my build looks and the max plus 1s and 2s that I use. 65 ball handle, 41 speed with ball, 85 interior, which I think is more than enough this year. Like, I don't see a lot of interior bigs anyway. 59 perimeter, just so you get the best hands up contest, which you're not going to be doing a ton of, especially if you're going against another 7'4". But just in case you get caught on the perimeter, got to play hands up defense. But a lot of it is going to be jumping, which we learned from 2K Labs. Jumping, like, is determined by your block rating, how much of a contest you're going to get. So I went with a 93 block, so I can contest not only in the interior, but on the perimeter as well. 92 rebound. I promise you, people in my other build, my Giannis build, they were saying that I didn't have enough rebound. But because so many people play 5 out and play on the perimeter, even the bigs, I don't feel like, even when I play rec, I don't feel like I have a problem rebounding the ball. But to each their own, you can change it. Obviously, this is just a template. This is what I use for me personally, but it might not work for you. So 57 speed, 43 agility, 83 strength, which for me is more than enough. But obviously, you could change it if you would like. That gives you bronze brick or silver brick wall, which if you run a lot of screens, you can max plus 1, max plus 2 it. And then a 70 vertical to get you all your dunk animations, as well as high flying, denier, pogo stick. And when you make that build, it turns into a, obviously you get the Victor Wembanyama, Porzingis, you know, the shades of backline stretch lob threat. But once you cap breaker, you can change the name if you don't love the name. And here we are on my build, which this is the Wemby build that I run. I went with 3 cap breakers in a pass accuracy, 3 cap breakers in a driving dunk. I actually have one more cap breaker since I hit starter 3, I think it is. But I went with driving dunk just because when I was driving past defenders, I wasn't getting the dunk animations I wanted. But this way, when I do blow past, I get really good quick dunk animations. And then pass accuracy, obviously, when I'm playing rec, and that can get up to at 85. But passes aren't a big problem. I also want to show off the animations. So here are all my animations. Free throw, I run Giannis on every build. Go to shot, dirt spin, whatever. These are my dribble moves. I don't mess around too much with them. Most of them are, I don't even know if I've really gone in and changed them. Most of the dribble moves you're gonna use are a lot of like step backs and stuff like that, because you could get really good speed boosts out of them. I'm not a 7'4" dribbler like that. And then here's my jumper. Shout out my homie Sean. He's the one who gave me this jumper. This jumper, I don't know where he got it from. If this is some YouTuber's jumper, you know, let me know. But this jumper is cash, and you can shoot. This is the jumper I was using to shoot over people. And I know with the new changes they made, it's a lot harder to shoot over those. But you can still shoot over those. I run all my jumpers one off push, so I know when to release it. I think it releases right as the hand is starting to flick. But all right, that's enough yapping. That's the build. Let's get into some gameplay. So in this game, we were playing, you know, 5v5 or 4v5 rec, I guess, because we had an AI. Right here, we're playing against a 7-4, but that doesn't really matter because they started in a zone. And I think that's the biggest benefit that 7-4s have, is not park, to me, is not 2v2 park, not 3v3 park, but in rec, because how tall you are, being able to shoot over the really small guards once they go into zone. And most, you know, if you're going against a really good team, they'll adjust, but just the fact that you could take advantage of mismatches. But also, you are a mismatch as well. So if you're on the perimeter And in fives, it's a little easier to hide the fact that you're slow. That's why I think fives is the best, because if you play twos, a really good 6'11" is just gonna drag you out to the deep end and drown you. Like you won't be able to keep up, especially if they could keep up with the shot and all of that. But in the first half, it was basically regular basketball. So I didn't score a ton. I think I ended the halftime right here with 12 points. So, and in the end, I think I ended the game with 34. So we really turned it up as a team in the second half, and a lot of that was due to the fact that we recognized that zone and how to beat it. 7-4s are really a zone buster, whether that's getting to the middle or getting to the wings. And right here, you see the 6'5" guards on me. We just passed to me. I'm shooting over those. Even if he jumped, like the best he'd get is maybe a 3 or 4% contest. And right here, they're overplaying it, so you go back door. But I think a lot less than, you know, the beginning of the year when 7-4s were really OP over those, which is why I decided to make the video now of the 7-4s, because I think they're in a pretty good spot. I think most people are complaining about fades, obviously, rhythm shooting, but I think 7-4s are at a point where they're still good, they're still viable. But if I was looking at the top heights for builds, it's like 6'8". The 6'3s and 6'4s are really good, but the 6'8", the 6'11s, and as far as bigs, the 7-4 is the best, I think, outside of 6'11", but I just don't think they're as OP. But right here, yeah, so we're 31-8-2 with 2 offensive rebounds right here. Force 2 of them to jump, 1 dribble pull up, game over. I think 7-4s are in a good spot right now. I don't think they need a nerf, don't think they need a buff. I don't see too many people abusing them, because it's a lot harder, especially because people learned, as well as that patch really did a number of them shooting over other bigs. I think that was the biggest thing that the patch addressed was 7-4s aren't just shooting over 7-4s anymore, aren't just shooting over 6'11", 7-foot builds. But also I think people did get better at guarding the 7-4s. But if you did enjoy this video, like it, subscribe. On the road to 500 subscribers, tell a friend to tell a friend, and peace.